Good evening and welcome to November 20th, 2023 Common Council of City Connersville. Let's all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilman Jabin Collins.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for the invocation. Pastor Jabin.
Lord, we thank you for this evening, and we ask for your spirit to be here. God, we are so thankful for Connersville and for those that are leading it. And we ask for a spirit of unity tonight for all decisions made. God, we pray that you would be honored. In your name, amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to welcome everyone. Remind you to turn your cell phone ringers off. We will begin with roll call.
Councilwoman Barrett.
Present.
Councilman Williams Jr.
Present.
Councilwoman Phillips.
Present.
Councilman Robb.
Present.
Councilman Gray.
Present.
Councilman Collins.
Present.
Councilman Warner.
Okay, everyone has the minutes from the November 6th, 2023 regular meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to those? If not, I'll take a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Let's move on down to new business. We have a first public hearing, approval of pending ordinance 3930, the bond issuance and additional appropriation. Rosemary.
As everyone's aware that we are looking at taking out a bond to be able to buy the new fire truck that we're in desperate need of, additional park equipment. What else did we have on that list?
And some police vehicles.
And police vehicles.
Everything we discussed in the budget hearing. So I will close this. Adam, you on?
Yes, Mayor, it's me. Can you hear me?
I'm gonna go ahead and open the public hearing, then we'll have any questions you can ask, but I'll go ahead and open the public hearing. Does anyone from the public have anything to say on this? Clint, nobody out there? Okay. I will close the public hearing and ask for council if you have questions for Adam. No questions? Okay, then I will ask for pending ordinance 3930 on first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. We have a motion to suspend the rules.
Motion. Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. And I have a motion for third and final reading.
Motion.
Second. Have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Moving on to item C, we'll have approval of pending ordinance 3932, establish a general obligation bond proceeds fund. Rosemary?
And we can also do the next one as well, pending ordinance 3933, establishing another fund for Michigan State disbursements. And
Any questions? No, I'm entertain a motion to approve pending ordinances 3932 and 3933 on first reading.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. We have a motion to suspend the rules.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. We have a motion for third and final reading.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item E, approval of resolution 2023-88 IC code transfer. Rosemary.
Resolution 2023-88 is a resolution to transfer $50,495.60 from general into first aid non-reverting.
Any questions? If no questions, I entertain a move to approve resolutions 2023-88.
Motion.
Did I hear a second? Motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Move on down to item 4, department reports. Superintendent Steele.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So the first thing on my agenda was the department teams. I am accepting applications for the new assistant director position, and so at the next meeting, I'll be probably coming back at that time to request approval to hire. We are currently putting up our Christmas lights at the park and getting ready for the month of December. All of our bathrooms have been winterized for the winter, so those are closed now, and will reopen sometime around probably March of next year, just depending on the weather and everything. Just an update on Roberts Park Playground. We did have a company come in. They fixed the walking paths of the playground, but the clamps, we are still trying to locate where we can purchase the clamps. I have reached out to the playground company that playground is through, and they are trying to locate clamps. It is an older playground, so they want to make sure they find the right parts that go with that playground. So we are still waiting to hear back from them. I actually saw him last week, and he said he still has not located them at this time, but they are diligently searching for them. So that's what we're waiting on for the playground, is to get the clamps so that we can fix those. Moving down to sports, I had girls basketball is currently taking place. We have 22 teams that have signed up for basketball this season. Basketball boys registrations ended on Friday, and so we'll be doing the draft next week, and practices will start, and then that season will begin in January. We currently have men's league and church league basketball signups going on as well. That is $200 per team, and if anybody has questions on that, they can call the park office. I did want to highlight something that Logan did this last month. He partnered with Healthy Fayette County, and they put on a event on November 9th called Let's Walk It Out. And they had a guest speaker come in from Enjoy Fitness, Tara Madden, and her presentation was on how to be more active during the work day, and gave lots of great tips and ideas for the business owners that came to that meeting on how to be more active during the day, and giving ideas on how to get out of your seat and go take a walk, or if you're standing at the coffee maker, do leg lifts or something like that. And so she gave a lot of great ideas. She was very energetic. It was a lot of fun actually to listen to her speak. We also had the executive director from the Indiana Arts Commission attend that luncheon as well. And she gave a lot of great ideas on how to incorporate art into your health and wellness programs, and how that goes along with health and wellness. And so that evening, they also had an event with vendors, and Tara came back and she did a lot of activities with the group on movement and different things like that. So it was a great event. We're hoping to continue those through next year, and have kind of like a walking club participate in our different parks. So that's what took place. I also attended the Indiana Parks and Rec Conference last week, and that was very insightful. I came back with lots of great ideas, met lots of great people, and was able to hear what they do at other parks. So I really enjoyed that. I'll share that I applied for a scholarship, and so I was granted that scholarship and was able to attend that conference. So I was very grateful for that. The Indiana Parks and Rec Foundation approved that scholarship for me to attend, so that was great. We had a successful trunk or treat last month, And I just want to show my appreciation to the first responders that came, to Mayor Frank, to Rosemary and her staff that came, and everyone else that participated. We had a wonderful turnout. Over 45 cars decorated their vehicles, and then we probably had over 1,000 people attend that event, I would guess. So that was a great event. I had a lot of positive feedback about that and how everybody just enjoyed being able to come. They liked the weather as well, because I know the next day was pretty cold, so that worked out to our favor. Christmas in the park, the lighting is being, this Saturday starts the decorations of the light displays. That will go on through December 1st, ending at 4 p.m. on December 1st, and then December 1st, starting at 5 p.m. will be the time that everyone can start driving through the park. So those are, and I will still accept light displays if anybody wants to still participate. We can take those up through next week. So if anybody wants, I have plenty of space to have those light displays at the park. And then we will have December 1st through December 7th, ending at 4 p.m. On December 7th, we will do a People's Choice voting. So when you drive through the park, you can pick up a voting card and vote for your favorite display. And then at our December 7th event at the park at the Miller Building, we will be announcing the award for the People's Choice vote. We will have on December 7th, also it's open, free of charge to the public. We will have pictures with Santa and Mrs. Claus. We will have different booths there doing activities with the kids. We're also going to have carriage rides as well. So it'll be a fun event for our community to participate in. That's all I have. Does anybody have any questions?
Marla, is there a sheet or something that tells you where your display is going?
My plan is to make that tomorrow.
Okay.
I don't have that fully lined out yet, but I'm hoping to send that out tomorrow at some point during the day.
Okay.
Marla, on these clamps, if we can't get them ordered because they can't find them or whatever, can those be fabricated potentially? Or can you check into that?
No, probably not. The company that did the flooring said that they could probably figure something out, but we're looking at a very large cost if they do it.
Right.
Yeah, so the company that installed the playground, he thinks that he can find some. So he has his team working on that. So hopefully within a couple weeks I'll hear something from him. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Chief Jones.
Good evening, council.
Good evening.
Monthly report for the Connersville Fire Department for October. We'll start out with the overtime. We had a total overtime of $3,567.60. Our manpower shortage portion of that was $2,450.16, and the FLSA scheduled overtime portion of that was $1,117.44. Any questions on the overtime? I'll move on down to fuel usage. We used a total of 465 gallons of fuel for the month for a total of $1,938.39. Total incidents for the month, we had 199 incidents. 50 of those were fire-related incidents, 137 were EMS-related, and we had 12 auto accidents. Training hours for the month. The training hours were down just a little bit. The month of October, we did our annual hose testing, which takes several weeks to do, and we also did some fire prevention visits to some schools, so that took a little bit of time out of our training. But for the month of October, we had a total of 22 and a half instructed hours of training. 17 hours of those were fire-related training, and 5.5 were EMS-related training. We had 9 inspections, fire inspections for the month, and a total of 22 hours of fire investigations. And below that, you'll see a few more things to add. We had 5 applicants remaining from the physical agility test that we put on. They took the written exam this past Saturday, and I misspoke earlier. We have 4 remaining, not 3, so we have 4 individuals to interview. We'll be doing those interviews on December the 5th to create our pool of possible applicants if we have an opening for 2024. Once again, the new radio project is almost complete. We're waiting on some more equipment to get the base stations installed, and then we should be able to go live with our new 800 radios. The SCBA's were delayed once again. I told the Board of Works that the last update I had was the end of the month, and I got a phone call this afternoon that said they had been shipped, that I should get a call tomorrow to try to schedule delivery, so hopefully it's not Thanksgiving Day. But we're glad to get those and finally get those going. Then the last two, obviously I previously mentioned, we did our annual hose testing and some fire prevention visits, October's fire prevention month. So, any questions?
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, John.
Appreciate it.
Chief Bowles.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So we'll start out with my monthly report. Overtime is still high. We're still down 2 officers, one at Police Academy and one on medical. On our fuel, we used 1,908 gallons of fuel. Any questions on those totals? As far as our incidents go, we are down on accidents this month. Compared to last, we had 38 accidents in October, compared to 54 the previous month. Our total incidents is 1,021 calls in October. Any questions on those? All right, so as far as our department training goes, our K-9 officers trained 40 hours. They had their recert, yearly recert in October. They had 5 demos and 5 school searches. The department as a whole, we had 221 hours of training. 8 of those were our SWAT team had training also in October. Our detective division in October took in 22 new cases. 15 of those were closed in October. Our drug take-in for October was 9 grams of marijuana, 15 grams of heroin fentanyl, 9 grams of meth, 9 items of paraphernalia, and 33 needle pickups. And as you can probably see outside, we have 4 brand new cars sitting in our parking lot, and we are waiting backward control panels is all we're waiting on. Everything else is in there, just sitting there for us to put those in, and they'll be ready to go. A few meetings back, I asked permission to start our hiring process. And last Friday, we tested about 10 or 11 candidates, and we are conducting interviews today and tomorrow. We should conclude those tomorrow for our next hiring list. So, any questions? None? Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Wolf.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So the following information comes from the October Ordinance Office report. I've been able to work with 77 different locations and identified 130 separate ordinance violations. 44 of those are related to weeds and grass at the end of the year. 35 incidents, trash, rubbish accumulation around different properties in town. 15 related to junk, abandoned vehicles, and improper registration. 10 related to obstruction of sidewalks and streets by boats, cars, trailers, various items that people had piled and blocked the access to the public walkways. 6 incidents related to indoor furniture, mattresses being piled outside of properties. 4 related to dangerous buildings. 3 incidents related to sealing of vacant buildings. 3 incidents on noise. 2 incidents related to signs. 2 incidents relating to obnoxious odors. 1 to harborage of rats, mice, snakes, and vermin. 1 incident related to demolition derby vehicles being parked for extended periods of time. 4 citizens' calls regarding just general information on the ordinances and what's allowed, what's not allowed. Of all of those separate violations and the 77 different locations, 4 have been moved to long-term cleanup projects that are gonna take more than 30 days. One of those 4, Indiana Department of Environmental Management is working with me on, and they have set a date of 6 months because of the size of the project. On that particular project, approximately 250 tires have been removed, 3 vehicles, and we're working on 1 of multiple RVs. So he's making some great progress with me the past few weeks, and he's continuing to make that process. It didn't happen in a week, so I can't expect him to have it cleaned up in a week. So I'm working with him before any fines or anything are initiated, and we're gonna, as long as he's making progress and good progress and keeps us steady, we're gonna keep working that way. 4 have been moved to a spring cleanup. Substantial progress was made, and we're kind of at a standstill on what they're able to do until the weather warms back up. And 6 were set to be completed next week. So of the 77 total, 63 have been addressed, abated, and they're now closed. Some projects I'm working on for spring 2024 is I'm partnering with the IT department for an online submission form where residents can go online, submit their information, the violation, it comes directly to my email, to my phone, and to my laptop. So if I'm out and I get the notification bell on my phone, I can go address the issues immediately. It'll help me speed the process up a little faster. And then a spring cleanup initiative where I'm working with individual residents in some neighborhoods that have fallen behind the curve and need some larger scale cleanup projects. And I'm trying to identify people within those neighborhoods that are willing to take a leadership role with their neighbors and help schedule some mowing, some cleaning, some removal of trash and some pickups so that we can work together as a community to make the city look a lot better. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.
Thanks, Randy.
Appreciate your efforts.
Director Coulter.
Howdy. I'm gonna tell you a little bit, I'm gonna focus on the street department because we got a lot of things going on. As far as the leaf update goes, we're gonna be starting in the Country Club Road, Gray Road area tomorrow, and we'll have the other truck over in the Maplewood School area, and they'll be heading south. Probably about the first of next week, we'll start at the 2 north and the south end and work towards the middle. Make one more good round because it looks like most of the leaves are falling off. And then we'll probably do a little bit of spot checking the week after that and then wrap up leaf pickup. We will probably at the same time wind down with the compost site for the winter, or the worst part of the winter, unless we have a weather event or something like that, or maybe when it's time to bring the Christmas trees and stuff down there. Heavy trash pickup also will be suspended for the worst part of the winter while we have our dump trucks and all ready for snow removal and that kind of thing. So wanted to mention to everybody that the markings changing on Park Road. I've had a lot of questions about that the last few days. That was an MDOT thing, and I think maybe we sort of heard about it, that they were thinking about doing something, but I think we were just as surprised to see it happen over the weekend as anybody else. So it definitely wasn't our decision. So just thought I'd let everybody know that. Also, the street department guys have been working on the Winterfest. They worked a lot in the downtown area over this last month, and I think that's all I wanted to tell you about the street department. You still have those pictures? Sure. We can flip through those. I took a pretty good tour of the Headworks project today. You can skip over that street. We'll just flip through those. These are just some pictures that I've got over the last few days of the Headworks project. Stop on that one just a second. That is the beginnings of the large EQ basin that is going to be dug, a deep hole that will be able to hold about 1 million gallons of excess wastewater when we have heavy rainfalls. Sorry, Don. All these pictures are from the inside. Those are the concrete roof panels. That's an area that will be a skylight eventually. Some of these pictures are looking down. It's a seriously deep wet well there. Anyway, that project's probably at about 65 to 70%. It's going to be completely under roof, as you can see, very shortly. That's a pretty good shot. And then they'll be working all winter on the electrical and the plumbing, and all the plumbers are starting to show up. They have from 20 to 25 people down there just about every day now, so it's pretty busy. I wanted to tell you I've been fairly busy on the speaking circuit. I've spoke to a few church groups and spoke to Rotary last Monday. I wanted to tell you the biggest topic is recycling. It's always the most questions is why and how we handle recycling and trash. People are just very interested in it. And I know the mayor and I were just talking the other day, we're just getting a complete glut of cardboard. You know, all these Amazon shipping boxes, it just seems like we have 3 or 4 or 5 times more cardboard than we ever had before. So, you know, we've got to try to think of what we're going to do about that going forward, because that cardboard's just really getting to be an issue. I don't know if there's a way we can go back to doing cardboard drives or something like we used to do and have a drop-off site for those once a month or something, but as much as people can, try to, when you do drop off the cardboard, try to break it down, because that just really makes a big difference. If you break those boxes down, the trailers will hold a lot more. So, did anybody have any questions about any of my reports?
I do. I know that the change on Park Road isn't the city's responsibility. Who should we contact to ask about better signage and stuff because I almost got hit today. Multiple people have gotten almost into wrecks over there. Nobody knows where to go, and all of a sudden it goes into the one lane. So is there somebody that we, the community can contact, or somebody that you can contact to speak for us as a community?
Off the top of my head, I can't come up with the name, but I can certainly look into that and maybe put it on Facebook that people could talk to.
We can call, I can find a number tomorrow to call. We'll call somebody tomorrow. Make a note so I don't forget.
Thanks.
Mr. Powell.
I was waiting until I was called up because for sure reason called somebody else.
No, I was making a note, so I didn't forget.
For the month of October, we had 12 hours, 24 minutes of meeting production, 10 hours, 55 minutes of original production. On our YouTube channel, 7,704 views at 895 hours of viewing, with total subscribers right now at 3,321. Mentioned earlier was Christmas in the Park. TV3 will be there as well. We'll be doing the photography for Santa, and we'll do all those photographs and then post them on the park Facebook page so people can download the pictures. Also, I was talking to Michael, the IT director, earlier, and he said he was working on the reporting form online. Apparently he got it up and running already because it's working. So if you want to report an ordinance issue, you can go to the city webpage, ConnersvilleCommunity.com, click on city, and then it's located under the departments, under the police department. And there's an ordinance complaint form. You just click on ordinance complaint form. You can do it on your phone too, and it brings up the phone. Just fill in the information, select what the issue is, and submit. So should work really well.
Perfect.
Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Chief Harden.
Good evening. Each have a copy of my October report. We had a total of 332 calls for service. So far this year, that puts us at 3,226. My staffing report, I still have one EMT off on workman's comp. I found an error under the fuel usage. That should be flip-flopped. Diesel fuel should be 104 gallons. Yeah, diesel fuel should be 104 gallons and gasoline should be 509. So I just caught that, just reading that out there. And submitted fuel tax rebate was $322. We did have a two-day pre-hospital trauma life support class, PHTLS, October 30th and 31st. That's an internationally recognized course. We don't even have instructors in-house for that. We bring in instructors from Staff Life. Air Medical, that's part of their community outreach, so they will come in and do that for us. So we usually try to do 1 or 2 of these specialized trainings a year. We have to bring in instructors, so it's a really good course that kind of keeps you up to date on what's going on beyond our borders, what's the emerging trends. Things are always changing, so we've got to try to stay on top of that. We had several trunk or treats, including the Parks Department. Yeah, my charts or my graphs for calls and calls by nature. The one thing I ask at the Board of Works is that unless someone has so many strong objections, back in the beginning of the year I started including an overdose report just because we were kind of having a dramatic increase. That's kind of trailed off. We're back to our baseline. So unless, if somebody wants it, I'm more than happy to provide it. I'm going to continue to run the report. But in the interest of paper, if no one has any strong objections, I will probably putting that in the packet. Let's say if you want the numbers, I'm more than happy to give them to you. But does anybody have any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Let's move on down to old business. Does anyone have any old business? Miscellaneous business? Public. Anyone from the public have anything to say? Speech time, girls.
Hi, I'm Lori Moff. I live at 535 John Street. And I was just looking at the new ADA curbs on Vine Street. And the one by John Street, the one by McCann Street, it looks so uneven that if a wheelchair were to go off onto it, they could tip. So I don't know if there's somebody that could look at that from the state. I know it's
You mean the the ADA ramps?
The ADA ramps, yeah, at the curbs.
Yeah, John Street and which?
John and I believe McCann.
I'm gonna add a little bit to that. The state engineer has looked at the one on John Street and they made the milestone come and replace all that.
Okay. There's still like
So that's,
the one on
that's
this.
all been replaced, and I seen them looking at it the other day when it rained, and there was a issue with water.
Oh.
So they had to adjust the height and the level of all the ADA and the asphalt section of it.
Okay.
And they took all that out and replaced it all.
Okay.
So, and they was down there looking at it again, and apparently it's approved by the state on John Street.
Okay.
Don't know about the others.
The only reason why,
Yeah.
the only reason why I brought that up is that if I were in a wheelchair and if they would go off the ramp, it's unlevel enough on that going, not on the, as you go out on John Street, it's on the right-hand side by Quarries. So it's unlevel enough that if a wheelchair were to go off, if somebody had an electric wheelchair, they'd be at risk at tipping over into the roadway. So that was just just a concern that I had.
Nope, I'll have them look at it and see.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Clarence, did they know about both of them or just the one?
They looked at the section on John Street.
Okay,
I can't answer the other
that's fine.
question. And like I said, they had them remove it along with the asphalt too, and have them replace both, the asphalt and the concrete. And then the state come down there after that was done, and after it rained, and apparently it was approved.
Okay. We'll look at the one on McCain and see what they're gonna do. Okay, anybody else from the public? Okay, I'll take a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed, same sign. Have a good evening.